The rain was falling heavily that night, the kind of rain that makes the whole city feel lonely. Daniel parked his old car near the sidewalk and checked the time. It was almost midnight. His 5-year-old daughter Emma was waiting for him at home with the neighbor who babysat her. He sighed. Just one more late shift, I'll be home soon, princess, he whispered to himself. Daniel was a single dad who worked as a driver for a big corporate company. Life had not been kind to him. 2 years ago, his wife passed away after a sudden illness, leaving him alone to raise Emma. Since then, every day had been a battle, but Daniel never complained. Because Emma's smile was enough reason to keep going. But that night, something unusual was about to happen. And it would change both his life and someone else's forever. Before we continue, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this remind us that kindness can change destinies. Now, let's continue. Daniel was about to start the engine when he noticed something strange near the entrance of a luxury bar across the street. A woman stumbled out. She looked elegant, expensive dress, high heels, but she could barely walk straight. 2 men followed behind her, whispering and laughing in a way that made Daniel uncomfortable. The woman leaned against a streetlight, clearly drunk and disoriented. One of the men said quietly, "Looks like the boss had too much tonight." The other smirked. "Perfect opportunity." Daniel frowned. Something didn't feel right. The men approached the woman and one of them tried to grab her arm. "Come on, boss, we'll take you home." But the way they said it felt wrong. The woman tried to pull away. "Don't touch me," she slurred weakly. Daniel didn't hesitate. He stepped out of the car and walked toward them. "Is there a problem here?" he asked calmly. The men looked annoyed. "This doesn't concern you," one snapped. Daniel looked at the woman again. Even though she was drunk, fear was clearly written on her face. He turned back to the men. "She said not to touch her." The taller man scoffed. "Do you even know who she is?" "No," Daniel replied. "But I know when someone needs help." The men exchanged glances. They didn't want attention, and Daniel's presence was starting to attract curious looks from people nearby. One of them muttered, "Forget it." They walked away, annoyed. Daniel turned to the woman. "Are you okay?" She tried to focus her eyes on him. I think so," she murmured. But she almost fell again. Daniel quickly caught her before she hit the ground. "Easy," he said gently. "Where do you live?" She tried to answer, but the words were unclear. Daniel checked her purse carefully, trying to find some identification. That's when he froze. Inside the wallet was a corporate ID card. Name: Victoria Hale, CEO. Daniel's eyes widened. Victoria Hale was the CEO of the very company he worked for. One of the most powerful businesswomen in the city. And right now, she was barely conscious. Daniel sighed. Well, this is awkward. But he didn't think twice. He carefully helped her into his car and drove her to the address listed on the ID. The house was massive, a luxury mansion behind tall gates. When the security guard saw the CEO in that condition, he panicked. "Ma'am, what happened?" "She had too much to drink," Daniel explained calmly. "She needed help." The guard nodded gratefully. They helped Victoria inside and laid her on the couch. Daniel turned to leave quietly. But the guard stopped him. "Sir, thank you." Most people would have ignored her. Daniel smiled faintly. Everyone deserves someone looking out for them. Then he left. By the time he got home, it was almost 2 a.m. Emma was asleep on the couch, holding her teddy bear. Daniel gently carried her to bed. He looked at her peaceful face and whispered, "No matter how hard life gets, Daddy will always be here." The next morning, Daniel arrived at work like any other day. He expected nothing unusual. But when he entered the office building, something felt different. People were whispering, looking at him. Then suddenly, the receptionist said nervously, "Daniel, the CEO wants to see you." His heart skipped. The CEO? Yes, right now. Daniel felt a wave of anxiety. Had he done something wrong? He slowly walked to the top floor, a place drivers like him never went. When he reached the office door, he knocked. "Come in." The voice was calm, confident. Daniel opened the door. Victoria Hale was sitting behind a massive desk. Elegant, composed, completely different from the woman he saw the night before. For a moment, she simply stared at him. Then she stood up. "You're Daniel, right?" "Yes, ma'am." There was a long silence. Daniel wondered if she was going to pretend nothing happened. After all, powerful people often erased embarrassing moments. But Victoria did something unexpected. She walked around the desk and stopped in front of him. "Thank you," she said quietly.